Tonight on KSL Outdoors.
There he is! Oh, I got him that time.
There's still time to get up to Strawberry for some fast fall fishing, plus busting birds at Wasatch Wing and Clay.
I'm Adam Eakle, and KSL Outdoors starts right now.
KSL Outdoors with Adam Eakle is brought to you by your local Ford stores.
Thanks for tuning in to KSL Outdoors. I'm Adam Eakle. Well, the deer hunt is here, and that means one thing for anglers. That means you need to come to Strawberry Reservoir and fish for the big cutthroats that come shallow this time of year. And we're going to go out with a bunch of buddies, hopefully throw some tube jigs, maybe some flukes, maybe even a few pointer minnows or two, see if we can catch some slot busting cuts.
Morning, how you doing?
Yeah, we're great. We're gonna go fishing.
The Strawberry Bay Marina ramp was busy this past weekend. The word is out that the bite is on.
What are you tying on first?
I'm gonna start with the white or a pearl tube jig.
We're headed out with buddies, Travis, Jeff, and Shane.
We'll probably run 1/8 ounce heads, and sometimes we end up fishing a little deeper with quarters, depending on if the fish are a little deeper. But I always like to start with an 1/8 and catch those aggressive fish that are up high. Came up Friday and it seemed to be a hot ticket, tipping with night crawler. Fish were pretty aggressive, and when you'd find them, you'd catch 3 or 4 real fast before it kind of taper off, and then they'd go deeper and really changed on depth from catching fish in that top 4 feet of the water column, and then at times we were catching them 25, 30 feet down, so it was kept us on our toes as far as where the fish were at, for sure. So
Find them. What a surreal morning. The fog was just starting to dissipate as we entered Strawberry Bay, headed towards the Narrows. The sun and warmth, a welcome sight to what we hoped would be a great morning of fishing.
Is he still there?
oh,
He's still there.
yeah, he's still.
Oh, I see him.
My jig in his mouth. Poor fisherman's knot. Holy moly! Nice 17-inch cut about. Holy moly! The fish that got away.
Yeah, broke off.
Broke my darn line. I guess I need to slow her down a little bit. Big fat night crawlers. I only like to run about 2 times through the hook just so they don't have that much to steal from you. What I'm trying to do is stay in that 4 to 8 foot range of the surface where I've had the last couple hits, just slowly retrieving it back, swimming that tube jig. You'll have a lot of fish that'll follow it all the way to the side of the boat, and you'll even miss the fish, pull the jig up over your head and drop it back in the water, and the fish will still find it.
Well, first fish of the day. What is he? Just a chunky little slot cut. Kind of the same technique as using a tube jig, just throwing a fluke instead. Let's get him back to the water. Thinking for the fight. So here's what I was throwing. Just about a 6-inch white fluke. And you just throw it out and jerk it back. Let it pause, jerk, pause, jerk, pause. And when they're up on the surface like this, they'll eat it. Let's go get another. What'd you get him?
Black marabou.
Black marabou.
That's all I ever fish.
Is it really?
That's good.
Did you get him? Keep him buttoned up. Yeah. Got to outfish the boat owner. Oh no!
That counts. I could reach it.
Yeah, if you'd have swan dived.
The fishing wasn't fast by any means, but it was keeping us busy. The bite did, however, pick up after 9 a.m.
Okay, touch it. Hurry and touch it.
Oh, good.
Okay, that one counts. We appreciate your fuel and the trip. Would you please catch a fish so we'd all feel better?
I'm trying.
It wasn't long before Travis and Shane figured out the best technique: slow and steady.
There you go, good one.
Hurry and touch it. Nice. Good touch.
Nice fish. White tube jig.
On the board.
Yeah, real nice fish. Sitting in about 25 feet of water and they're just liking it real slow, just coming across the bottom. Almost just swimming it down there. Not really aggressive jigging.
Another nice slot cutthroat. White tube jig, a little black flake in it. Wow, nice. A lot of fun up here at Strawberry. Hey, more coming up in a moment, but first, tonight's climate quiz question. Strawberry Reservoir is one of Utah's most popular fisheries, and it's also part of the Blue Ribbon Fisheries program. But the Berry, as many anglers call it, was not built primarily as a fishing destination. Our climate quiz question is, what is the main reason the Bureau of Reclamation built Strawberry Reservoir? Now, once you know the reason, go to our KSL Outdoors Facebook page, give us the correct answer, and while you're at it, give us a like. We'll then randomly select and announce a winner on our page the following week. The winner set to walk away with a Climate Static V sleeping pad. Climate, comfortable, rugged, and lightweight. And here's the answer to last week's question, which was, how many national parks do we have in the U.S.? The answer is we have 59 national parks, with 5 of those right here in Utah. KSL Outdoors, powered by Ford. We'll be right back to the Berry.
KSL Outdoors is also brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse, Fish Tech Outfitters, Utah State Parks, Burt Brothers, Climate, Intermountain Wind and Solar, King's Camo, and Camp Chef.
See if he comes and hits it a second time. Come on, fish. Oh! Second hit. Let's see if I can get him to hit a third time.
Welcome back to Strawberry Reservoir.
There he is! Oh, I got him that time.
You know, one thing we noticed today is even if you missed the first hit, the fish would often come back for another taste.
Come on, bugger. All right. Nice cutty. Another one on the white tube jig.
Doubled up. Can't let him have all the fun.
Heck no.
Right on the bottom.
Jeff, just dragging it across the bottom. No jigging hardly. My rule of thumb is if the deer hunt's going on, the tube jig fishing at Strawberry should be red hot. Yes, sir. The last 2 years we've had 100 fish days in November between 3 or 4 guys, so there's still some time.
Let's go over some of the things we fished today. I mean, obviously the number one thing today was
a simple pearl tube jig, 4-inch. These are actually freshwater basics, picked up last night at Sportsman's Warehouse. Cheapers. At times we try to keep it in that top 4 foot, 5 foot of the water column. A lethargic retrieval, very little motion. Everything we did fish today was tipped with night crawlers. We did do some maggots, Berkeley maggots in them as well. Oh, we got one. All right. We used difference between an 1/8 ounce and a 1/4 ounce. I fished 1/8 ounce all day long. My buddy Shane fished a 1/4 ounce all day long. We tied at 22.
Boy, we've seen a lot in that size. I don't think we've seen one fish over 21, have we?
We haven't had a slot buster today. Yeah, probably 2021's right there. Shane ended up fishing this Lucky Craft right here and pointer 78. Shane caught 4 or 5 fish on that. Pointer 78s, CD7 Rapalas are great if you want to troll around and catch them.
Yours is bigger.
Mine's prettier and bigger. Look at them spots on that one. Look how ugly that one is, and this one's pretty. He's also a big fan of marabous that flash in the tail, 1/4 ounce as well. Also tipped, this one he was just tipping with a night crawler and a maggot as well.
That's pretty cut.
Yeah, real pretty cut. In it goes.
So it's gotten faster or we've gotten better, one of the two.
One of the two, or we found 2 dumb fish all at once.
Another key, keep moving. If you haven't caught a fish in, say, 10 minutes, move. It seemed once we caught one fish, there were always others willing as well.
Oh!
Don't lose him.
I gotta be able to hit him with the net.
That counts.
That counts. This fish makes 22. I tied with Shane.
We can go home now.
Last one of the day, number 22.
Oh, you got one more cast.
Oh yeah, I have one more cast. I better get to it.
More fishing techniques now as we head back and check in with the guys at Fish Tech for tonight's fishing report.
How many eggs do you think you could squish in one bad step? Especially if your feet are as big as mine. Hi, I'm Mickey Anderson from Fish Tech with this week's fishing report. This time of year, the browns are spawning and the females are cleaning the bottom, getting it ready for their eggs. These areas could be 2 feet long, and I've seen them as long as 12 feet long, and a lot of times they'll have a lot of fish on them. Stay away from those fish. That's next year's fish. What you want to fish are the fish around those areas that are feeding on the eggs. Here's my approach. I start with the real fluorescent colored eggs at the very start of the spawn because there's not a lot of eggs in the water and fish are looking for them and they can find these fluorescent colors. Now once they've seen a lot of eggs in the water from a lot of spawning, you need to go to the more natural colors, more like these, that blend in a little bit better. The fish will get a little more selective. Now there's some washed out patterns and they look like this. This is at the end of the spawn, either the eggs that didn't get fertilized, or what happens a lot of times is the second female comes into the exact same area and she fans out that area and washes out those fertilized eggs. And fish are picking off the more faded colors like these. You know what, if you're opposed to eggs, you can always use a scud. Hey, for these spawning fishing tips and a whole lot more, come on down to Fish Tech and we'll help you out. And now for tonight's fishing line.
Welcome back to KSL Outdoors. Well, we've moved to Wasatch Wing and Clay. You know, it was last February when the lodge burnt down. Well, they're still open, they're still throwing clays, still throwing birds, still having a good time, and they're still holding their annual Ghost and Goblin hunt here for about 100 hunters.
Well, thank you for coming. We do appreciate it.
We released 100 banded roosters, and we also released 2 special black melanistic roosters that will win you a shotgun if you get those birds. The banded birds are out there too, so if you get a banded bird, you come in, you'll be able to get a prize off the prize table. We got thousands of dollars in prizes from lots of different sponsors, so it's a really good deal. We feed you lunch. We do this twice a year. We do this hunt, and then we do the Grinch hunt in December, and everybody loves coming to these.
Well, it's something that my son and I have enjoyed for a few years, and I think it's good for the youth, it's good for the community, and it's good for the gun club.
With the release of a bird, the hunt is on.
We'll put one person over on that wash. We'll put a dog down that wash right there. Everybody else we'll just push this way. We'll go all the way down to the fence line by the long-range rifle course, if you know where that is. And there should be birds in here, so we should have a good time.
You know, I've always had a great time at Wasatch Wing and Clay with my kids and friends.
There's one. Get him, get him.
Many, myself included, thought the worst when the lodge burnt down, but the owners have kept the operation up and running and have plans to rebuild.
We've been in the process since the day it burned down. We're working on permits, so we're going to be started here soon. Hopefully spring is what we're looking at for a final date. So yeah, we're still here, we're still open, we're still throwing birds and throwing clays, so come see us.
Nice shot. Coda, here. Coda.
Well, this is a good place for a lot of people. We bring scouts out here, we bring all kinds of individuals, and so this is a place where people come out and have great experiences and enjoy this great sport of shooting and hunting, and so it was really heartbreaking that someone else would take that away from somebody else.
Rooster! Nice shot, man. Very safe, too.
Good job, dogs. No band? No band.
Located 10 miles west of Lehigh, Wasatch Wing and Clay sports over 7,000 acres to hunt.
Rooster! Rooster, rooster, there they are! There's gonna be more. We've been pushing them the whole time.
It's a great place to train your dog or introduce your kids to hunting and shooting.
This is what it's all about, family and friends and good times with these awesome dogs.
Get him, get him! Rooster, good job! Oh, right there they are, get them! Yeah!
Nice.
Woo!
A lot of birds to find.
There are a lot of birds down.
Like South Dakota.
Yeah, fun.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
For more opportunity to hunt pheasants, let's check out our Utah Field Guide. This year's pheasant hunt might be the perfect time to start chasing this popular upland game bird for the first time or renew an old pastime. Utah's general pheasant hunt opened this morning and runs through December 3rd on both private and public lands. If you enjoy hunting pheasant, you have a lot of reasons to be excited this year. Biologists say the number of wild birds is up this fall, and more than 10,000 pen-raised pheasants will be released on 54 public hunting areas during the hunt. The DWR and Sportsmen for Fish and Wildlife paid for the birds that are going to be released this season. The birds will be released in areas that have good pheasant habitat and good access for public hunters. Birds will be placed on wildlife management areas, waterfowl management areas, and walk-in access areas. But what if you prefer hunting wild pheasants? Well, there's good news to report there as well. Despite the deep snow and cold temperatures in parts of northern and northeastern Utah that killed some pheasants this past winter, the number of chicks born this spring more than made up for the birds that were lost. The past spring was very wet, which provided the chicks with lots of vegetation. With good cover to hide in and plenty of insects to eat, there will be more wild birds to chase. For more information on this year's hunt, check out the Upland Game Hunting section on the DWR's website at wildlife.utah.gov.
Boy, for the last few days here in October, you cannot complain about the weather. Spectacular up here today. Get your butt up here and go do some fishing. Hey, let's find out that recreation forecast so when you do come up, you'll know what the weather's like by turning it over to the guys and gals in the weather department.
Welcome back to Wasatch Wing and Clay. If you missed this year's Phantom and the Ghost Hunt, no worries. The Grinch Hunt, a hunt similar to today's event, is coming up in December. For details on the Grinch Hunt and many other outdoor events, check our Outdoors calendar page on our KSL Outdoors website at ksltv.com.
Well, that's a mess of birds, guys. Nice job. Nice shoot. There were some misses. I won't say who. Roger. We can't give him too hard of a time, though. He's feeding us R&R barbecue, some of the best barbecue you can have. Get down and try it. Hey, when you get a bunch of birds like this and you're out with your buddies, take lots of snapshots, submit them to our snapshot contest. You might win our big prize from Camp Chef. Now, the best of the week, our snapshot of the week.
We kick it off with a cute young lady and her first buck. This is Lindsay Baum. Lindsay has MS, which took her sight at 8 years old. To shoot her buck, Lindsay uses a co-witness scope that allows her dad, Brett, to stand behind his daughter and verbally guide her aim. Lindsay does all the rest. Lindsay can't wait for her next hunt, a late-season cow elk hunt later this year. Kevin has been applying for a bull moose tag since 1985. This was finally his year when he drew a tag up on Deseret Land and Livestock. With his longtime hunting buddy Sheldon by his side, they were able to bag this fine bull on the second day of the hunt. Kevin wanted to thank his guides, especially Rick, who made it feel like they were hunting with an old friend. This is Hannah Miller on her first duck hunt. Targets were sparse that day, but Hannah got some good shots off and may have just found a new obsession. She says the 360-degree scenery change every 5 minutes with the sun setting was incredible. Bill invited his cousin Sherm for a day of fishing for trophy tiger trout. This is Sherm and his big catch of the day, and Sherm dropping his big catch. Bill says it was uncontrollable laughter after the big tiger swam away. And finally, our winner tonight sent us photos of her son's epic adventure. Robbie Weber flew to Istanbul, hopped on a plane to Dushanbe to catch a helicopter ride to Tajikistan. Then he took a 5-hour Jeep ride to base camp, saddled up some horses, rode even higher, and then hiked to 16,000 feet. And that's where he shot this beautiful Marco Polo ram. Robbie said the conditions were miserable, but he's dumb enough and crazy enough to do it all again. Well, Shelley, the next time your son goes on another wild ride, he'll have to borrow your cool prize, as you just won our Snapshot of the Week. Remember, submit your pictures or video plus an explanation of your latest outdoor adventures online at ksltv.com. The winner each week wins the new Stryker multi-fuel backpacking stove that can be fueled by propane or butane. Plus, the winner is also entered into our Ford Trucks quarterly Facebook giveaway for a Camp Chef pellet grill.
You know, I actually love my Camp Chef pellet grill, and if you've always wanted one, now is the time to get one. This holiday season, Camp Chef is offering huge savings on the DLX model, the same one I have here. So get down to Sportsman's Warehouse and get yours today. Oh no, Jeff, you and I kind of had the raw end of the deal. Back into the boat, we didn't catch, I think combined we caught as much as each of them.
Right, exactly. Yep.
What's up with that?
Well, it's Travis. That's what he fishes.
His boat, huh?
His boat, really bad.
And again, you guys ended up with 20 something apiece?
22 apiece, Shane and I did. You guys were a dozen each.
That was a fun day.
Yep.
Yeah. And people really should, I don't think they should be worried about the cold. It wasn't that cold up here.
It wasn't that cold.
Yeah.
Had bibs on for the first little bit and everyone got hot, and
yeah,
we were down to light jackets and vests, and everyone shed our bibs, so it wasn't too bad at all.
I can't wait for ice fishing now.
Just around the corner.
Just around the corner. Hey, I'm Adam Eakle, KSL Outdoors. Remind you to get with your family, your friends, and make some memories outdoors. We'll see you next weekend. Good night.